Astrado Pranamamyam. Good evening, everyone, and welcoming you all for today's session. The topic which I am going to discuss today is diet and nutrition, application and advice scientifically in OPD. So before we discuss in detail exactly how we need to prescribe the food in day-to-day practice, we need to understand what is the importance of ahara. Everyone know, but again I would like to utter, we need to understand certain basic concept about the ahara. As we all know that Ayurveda says that prageva pratikurvante rogabhyo sukakamibihi. What exactly he want to say is that, so every person should strive hard to keep himself away from the all sort of infection or all sort of diseases, and he should strive hard to remain healthy. So that is what we call like prageva pratikurvanti rogabhyo sukakamibi. That is pratikara which is done before the onset of any kind of disease to get the sukha. So that is considered as the prevention. What we say, prevention is better than cure. Even Ayurveda also says that if you want to attain all the purusharthas, you need to remain healthy life, and that's true. It should be healthy and long life. So here, so when it comes to maintaining of your health for a longer time, ultimately there is a requirement of certain tools to maintain your health. So when we say what are the tools for maintaining the health, again we all know that upastambhas, ahara, nidra, brahmacharya or abrahmacharya. These are the three upastambhas which are preferably meant for the maintaining your health, isn't it? So when you think ahara, nidra, brahmacharya, again ahara has given very important part, which is the essential tool to maintain or preserve your health, promote your health. And even ahara itself act as a preventive module. It will helps to prevent your body from all sort of infections, whether it is a communicable or non-communicable. Ultimately, ahara being the source of energy, it is the essential tool, primary essential tool. That is the reason in Trayopastambha, ahara gains the first part. It's a source of energy. So when it comes to the importance of ahara, there are most of the time when we think about the ahara, many people will think that ahara has always positive benefits over the body. Most of the thing people will think like that, but it's not like that. It has positive benefits, but contrast to that, if the particular food is not consumed appropriately, even it may affect your body adversely. So we all know that what are the pro factors, are that factors of the ahara which is supporting your body. So we all know that it is food is acting as a survival factor. Ayurveda says that annam vrittikaranam sreshtam. That is, if you want to survive, ultimately ahara is the major tool. And even it is considered as the health factor, because if you want to maintain your health, like Ayurveda says that arogyam bhojanadinam. So everything lies in the bhojana. So if you take food appropriately, if you bhojana is appropriate, then obviously you can achieve the arogya. And kala bhojanam arogya karana. So right food, if it is taken at the right time, then obviously then it is going to help your body, it is going to help your mind and body. So this is the health factor, how exactly food is going to benefit your body. And food, it also helps to maintain all the physical component of the body. Physical body is maintained by the ahara. So again, there are lots of references saying like ahara sambhavam vastu. So vastu is nothing but body. If you want to maintain your physical body, ahara, preferably ita ahara will helps to maintain your body. And even we know that Charakacharya says that ahara prinana sadhyo bhalakrut dehadaraka ayus tejo samutsaha smrutyo jagni vivardhanam. For everything, bala, oja, smruti, everything is mainly depending upon the ahara. And ahara, this kind of ahara helps to maintain your physical health. And even we all know that usual shloka like prana bhrutamannam mannam loko abhidavataha varna prasada swashiryam jivitam pratibhasukam. Everything they says that ahara will helps to maintain the physical component, that is physical body. And there are lots of references which even says that ahara will helps to maintain your psychological health, especially like ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi. sattva shuddhau dhruvam smruta. What is sattva? Sattva is nothing but that's a psychological factor. So if you take healthy food, that is satvika ahara, it is going to boost your sattva, the sattva guna of your mana. So when sattva guna of the mana is enriched, ultimately your psychological health is boosted or enriched. So ahara not only helps to maintain your physical health, even it will helps to maintain your psychological health. And even ahara alone is considered as the 100-year factor in Ayurveda. So there is a reference saying that Shat Trimshat Sahasrani Ratrani Jivayet Anaturaha Itabhojanat. Charaka says that if the person only stick on to the intake of Hitabhojana, he will be able to survive for Shat Trimshat Sahasrani Ratrani. That is, Shat Trimshat is nothing but 36,000 night he will be healthier. 36,000 night is nothing but almost all it is 100 years. So alone, if the person stick on to the Hitabhojana, he will be able to survive, or he will be able to survive for 100 days if he stick on to the healthy food. And even we know that Lolimbaraja beautifully explains how food can be replaced with the medicines. Like even in Kashyapa, he mentions that Nacha ahara samam kinchit vaishajyam upalabhyate shakyate apyanna matrena narakurtuma niramaya. See how he says that. So if the person stick on to the healthy food, then there is no any requirement of intake of the medicine. And patyasate gadartasya kimaushidhim nishevinam, patyasate gadartasya kimaushidhim nishevinam, we all know that. So if food is appropriate, then there is no any requirement of the medicine. If you are taking the medicine, but your food is not good, then even that the medicine what you are consuming, that may go vain. That is the reason these are some of the importance of ahara. That is the reason we need to understand the each and every concept of ahara when you are prescribing in day-to-day practice. But see, these are the multiple benefits which are explained in the Ayurveda context. But there are other context in Ayurveda which says that if the ahara is not taken appropriately, if it is not matravat, if it is not Kalavat, again it is going to affect your body adversely. As I stated earlier, ahara sambhavam vastu rogascha ahara. Hita vishesho sukadukkadaya. So what exactly he want to say is that if the food is taken hita, then it is going to give the sukha. If the food what you are consuming, if it is ahita, then it is going to produce the dukkha. Dukkha is nothing but it may give rise to various kinds of diseases. And even in the context of viruddha ahara, we all know that there are many more references which says that viruddha ahara, continuous intake of viruddha ahara will give lots of disadvantages like shandyatva, visarpa, dakodaranam, unmada, bagandaranam. So this shandatva, starting from the infertility, even it will give rise to lots of skin diseases, it will give rise to lots of respiratory diseases and even circulatory diseases. Many diseases may occur if the person has the habit of intake of viruddha ahara. And even they mentioned that continuous intake of viruddha ahara, even it may leads to the death. So ultimately, what I want to say is that food has its own benefits when it is taken appropriately according to the Ayurveda principles. If you don't follow the Ayurveda principle, same food may convert in the form of poison and it may take your life. So whenever you are prescribing the ahara, it should be prescribed very vigilantly how you are prescribing the medicines, because medicines are not prescribed randomly. So we will think lots of things of the person. We will see each and every part of the person, like we will assess desha, kala, satme, everything we will assess, and we will prescribe the medicine in the same way. Whenever you are prescribing the ahara to any person, preferably for unhealthy person, then you need to think each and every factor of the person to get the advantage of the ahara. And in Charaka they says that naragat na apya vijnanat aharam upayojate parikshatvat hitam ashniyat deho ahara sambhava. See how he beautifully says that deha is made out of ahara. So that is the reason whenever you are consuming, that should be consumed very vigilantly. Naragat, with greedy or with any like a greediness, you are not supposed to consume the food. So always whenever you are consuming, you should assess your body, you should assess your mind, then after only you should consume. Naragat na apya vijnanat. And without any knowledge, you are not supposed to take the any kind of food, because nowadays people are very much fond of eating various different varieties of food. Even though if they belonging to the South India, they will be having very much interest in eating the food which are related to the North India. And many people nowadays they are influenced by the Western diet. Oats meal, everyone are eating oatmeal, and many food products which are consumed by the Western people, they also entered in the India, and many people are very much fond of eating those things. But we don't know exactly what is the food what we are consuming. We don't have any appropriate knowledge of the food what we are consuming. So Ayurveda says that without any knowledge, you are not supposed to consume any food. Naragat na apya vigyanat. In avigyana also, you are not supposed to consume the food, because body is made out of the ahara. So when it comes to the intake of the ahara, you should be very much vigilant, and you should take ahara according to your need. Then only you are going to get the advantage of the ahara. Otherwise, it is going to affect your body adversely. Next, very important part. Yeah. So most of the title what I got is that it's like applicability scientific way, prescribing the food and its application scientific way. So main purpose of displaying this chart is that I want to say that Ayurveda is more scientific than any other science. So ultimately, in scientific way, what I am going to deliver today, that will be on the basis of Ayurveda principles. Why I am saying that Ayurveda science is superior to any other science, especially when it comes to the diet and lifestyle, ultimately Ayurveda stands in upper hand. Because see, these are the mild comparison what I try to give you that. So in contemporary science, when it comes to the purpose of consuming the food, most of the time we know that modern people, modern dietitians, they preferably advise the food for the promotion of the health, preservation of the health, or even prevention of the particular diseases, or as a treatment. So when it comes to the social aspect, there is no any exactly any social aspect in the modern dietetics. But very in simple way, like nutritional programs, what they comes under the government programs. So they are indirectly they are social factors. That is, they are supporting the social. But when we think about the pinpoint, so modern nutrition is specific to the particular individual. There is no any role of social factor. But when you think about the Ayurveda or any Ayush dietetics, Ayurveda says about Hitara, especially Hita, Satmya, Patya Aharas, and even they explains while explaining the Patya, they says that Patya should be Manasa Priya. Again, it is focusing on mental factor. It is focusing on physical factor. And when it comes to the Bhojana Kala, Ayurveda recommends to take the food twice a day. But nowadays people are eating 3 times a day, 4 times a day. But Ayurveda recommends 2 times a day. Not only the main purpose of recommendation is not only on the basis of your Agni, but even somewhere indirectly they are recommending that you are not supposed to eat excessively. If you don't eat excessively, then that food may help other to the food what you spared or what you saved, that may used by some other person. So indirectly, even social health is also incorporated in the Ayurveda dietetic principles, and even spiritual aspect of ahara is also elaborated. While explaining the varieties of ahara, Ayurveda says about satvika ahara. So why they mentioned satvika ahara even helps to achieve the spiritual health. So Ayurveda has the lots of concepts more compared to that of the modern science. And how exactly modern people cater the concept of diet or nutrition on the basis of nutrients. But ahara elaborate the concept of nutrition on the basis of rasa, ahara rasa, and ahara guna. And while preparing the any kind of food, what we call like ahara sanskaras or even kalpanas, ahara kalpanas, there is a minimum focus in the modern science, but Ayurveda has very huge scope for the preparation of the food. There are lots of concepts related to Krutanna Varga, where he explains how to prepare the Manda, Peya, Vilepi, everything. And according to the conditions, according to the disease condition, varieties of Yavagus are also explained. And even there is a context called as Ahara Sanskara, Ahara Pariksha, before you preparing, how you need to examine the Ahara. And even Dwadasha Ashana Pravicaranas. So many more are explained, which preferably focus on the collection of the food, preparation of the food, preservation of the food, and even catering of the food for the particular person. So ultimately, focus while preparing the concept is more in the Ayurveda compared to that of the modern science. And even modern people much focus on the caloric food. They will calculate what is the calorie of particular food. But Ayurveda way of calculation is depend upon the Jarana Shakti, Pachana Shakti, and even Jarana and Pachana, even it will depends upon the kind of processing of the food. In which way you process the food, how it is going to affect your Jarana Shakti, Pachana Shakti. So these are some of the points which focus much when it comes to the caloric intake on the base of Ayurveda. Ayurveda mainly focus on the Jarana Shakti, Pachana Shakti, but whereas modern people they focus on the caloric food, caloric value of the food. And another is that when it comes to the disease, modern people they say they on the basis of malnutrition, that is overnutrition or undernutrition. On that basis, food is catered. But whereas in Ayurveda, we have Santarpana Aharas, Apatarpana Aharas, and according to the diseases, if the person is suffering with Santarpana Janya Vyadis, so Apatarpaka Aharas. If the person is suffering with Apatarpana Janya Vyadis, then you need to advise the Santarpaka Aharas. In such a way, the concept of disease and nutrition is elaborated in Ayurveda. And modern people, they says that what you are what you eat. But Ayurveda not only say about you are what you ate, even Ayurveda says that you are what you digest. Because if you are consuming the nutritious food, if it is not properly digested, same nutrition food will go wasted. That is the reason. Not only Ayurveda not only focus on the food what you are consuming, even it also focus on how you are going to digest the consumed food. If it is digested properly, then you are going to get the benefit of particular food what you consumed. Even though if you are taking nutritious food, if it is not digested properly, then obviously it may give some of the adverse effect. That is the reason how when we see these things on this platform, it says that Ayurveda is more superior than that of the any other science. That is the reason. Now, whatever I am going to deliver, that will be on the basis of Ayurveda scientific way. Yeah. So next very important part is how to approach whenever it comes to the prescription of any diet to any person, how you need to approach. So approaching method can be applied in two ways. One is on the basis of the condition of the person. Whenever any person visit your clinic, first we need to see whether he is healthy or whether he is sick. So because nowadays people are approaching lots of Ayurveda hospitals, not only for the treating the particular diseases, even for promotion of their health, for the purpose of preservation of health, people are approaching. So first we need to see what was the purpose of visit of the person. If he is visiting for the purpose of preservation of the health, for the promotion of the health, and accordingly we need to advise the food. Then there is no any much requirement in thinking about how to prepare the food. Rather than we need to see what kind of food he is consuming, whether the food what he is consuming is whether it is appropriate to him or not. In such a way we need to see. Whenever the sick person will come, then you need to assess each and every part of the person. So first we need to bifurcate the person, whether he is healthy or whether he is sick, because we know that even Ayurveda not only just say about how to prepare the food, even it will say about how to prepare the body before you consuming the food. Ayurveda even focus much on the Kala Bhojana. Even it will focus much on the Matravat Bhojana, because Ayurveda says that Arogyam Ekabhuktena. Suppose if the person want to preserve his health, and if the person want to promote his health, Ayurveda says Arogyam Ekabhuktena. That is, one time a bhojana is sufficient to the normal person to preserve the health. So this is the one of the tip what exactly Ayurveda says regarding the time of food consumption. So one time food helps to preserve the body, and if the person want to promote his body, if he want to increase his bala, if he want to increase his vrushatva, so then he says that balyam vrusham dvibhojanat. If the person want to improve his body, if he want to improve the vrushatva, if he want to improve the bala, then he says that person should take Vikala Bhojan. 2 times food are preferably recommended for those people who want to improve the nutrition, who want to improve the strength of the person, immunity of the person. So all the Rasayana Aharas which are explained, this will falls under the category of promotion of health. In the same way, when it comes to the prevention of health, even Ayurveda also says that they had given particular food according to the season. According to the diseases, there are lots of patyas are explained. So patya explained in particular diseases not only prevent that, not only cure that disease, but even helps to prevention of the diseases. So on the basis of need of the healthy person, whether he want to preserve the health, whether he want to promote the health, or whether he want to prevent himself from the lots of diseases, then accordingly we need to choose the food. Preferably when we all know that recently we are out of the corona panic. So when there was a corona outbreak, at that time most of the people were into the intake of healthy food. So preferably to prevent themselves from the respiratory diseases like corona, they started taking the haldi, that is haridra, in each and every food preparations. Even milk with haridra they started consuming, and lots of even ahara, all spices preferably which are available in the kitchen, they started using, because they came to know that one spices will helps to maintain the agni. If agni is maintained, overall immunity is also maintained. So in such a way, on the basis of need, we need to prescribe the particular food. So another part very important is sick. When deceased person visit your clinic, how we need to approach. So first we need to see whether the person is in acute condition or whether the person is in chronic condition, whether he is suffering from non-communicable or whether he is suffering from the communicable. We need to see this thing. If the person is in acute condition, at that time we need to stick on to the first line of treatment. Suppose Ayurveda explains lots of Chikitsa Sutra to each and every diseases, isn't it? So that Chikitsa Sutra should be abided. If the person is taking any modern medications like antibiotics for particular diseases, because in acute condition, first and foremost thing is that we need to control the exacerbation of the particular symptoms. So for controlling the symptoms, you need to take the standard protocol, management protocol. Along with that, if you stick on to the ahara, that will help to additional benefit to recover yourself from the particular diseases in acute condition. And there are lots of acute conditions where ahara plays very important role. For example, like in Navajwara, we all know that in Nava Nija Jwara, not Agantu Jara. In Navajwara, Ayurveda says that Ashtaguna Manda. So we know that what is manda, how to prepare manda. But there is a specific manda explained in Lagutraya, Ashtaguna Manda. So there they says that Ashtaguna Manda, if you consume, that will helps to relieve the any kind of jwara, whether it is any Sannipata jwara or whether it is any Ekadoshika jwara, everything can be controlled. And this study, I conducted this study under one of the student, she conducted under me in our institute, Ashtaguna Manda in acute jwara, I mean to say in Navajwara conditions. So without any medications, patients were recovered without any paracetamol. So here one recommendation is there from the WHO. If the temperature of the body is less than 101 degree centigrade, then there is no any requirement of the intake of any antipyretic. So they directly recommend that there is no any requirement of any medicine. So even same criteria we adopted in our clinical trial. So the person who are having the 101 or 102 degree centigrade, we never recommended the person to take any paracetamol. We just advised the Ashtaguna Manda on the basis of Matra. We decided on the basis of Agni. So within a couple of days, person is totally relieved from the all sort of fever conditions. So in acute conditions, we can use the ahara as a direct remedy. And even like for if the person is suffering from excess, like what we call like Atisara. If the person is in Amaja Atisara, you can advise the Laja Manda. So this will helps to even prevent the number of stools. Even it will helps to take out the dehydration like complaints. And if the person is having Daurbalya, directly you can advise Karjura Adimanta on the basis of assessing the Agni. So these will helps to combat the lots of acute conditions. And if the person is suffering with any chronic diseases, like if the person is victim of any Grahini Roga or Grahini Dosha, Takra Sevana, we all know that Takra Sevana is going to play very important role even if the person is suffering with any Arsha Roga, on the basis of which kind of Arsha. So you can advise the different varieties of Takra to prevent the complaints. And if the person is victim of Amavata like conditions, so there are beautiful food modalities are explained. If you adopt, then that will help a lot in reducing the chronic conditions. In the same way, if the person is suffering with any non-communicable diseases like diabetes, we all know that being a Yapya Vyadhi, the person is supposed to take the medicines and food continuously. If he stick on to the appropriate food modality, then there is no any requirement of the any medicine. So appropriate food, like especially in Madhumeha or in Staulya or in Prameha, they had explained the lots of food preparations. If you stick on to these things, then there is no any requirement of the any excessive intake of medicine. So on the basis of requirement, whether he is the sick or healthy, we need to see and we need to advise. And there are special circumstances, inevitable circumstances where the people will come across, like drastic change in the climatical conditions. So excessive temperature, excessive humidity, again it will adversely affect the body. So at that time, on the basis of climatical conditions, you need to apply all the Rutucharya concepts, food Rutucharya concepts or food principles which are explained in the Rutucharya, that can be applied when there is a drastic changes in the climatical conditions. And even on the basis of occupation, again we need to switch on for the appropriate food. And if the person is suffering with any like hereditary diseases, if the parents are suffering with any hereditary diseases, again to prevent the particular person from these hereditary or genetic diseases, person need to take the appropriate food. For example, if there is a like complaints of diabetes in the family, if there is any complaints of hypothyroidism in the family, one or other way, the progeny belonging to particular family will be the will comes under the risk group. For them, initially, if they start adopting the healthy food, then obviously they can prevent the occurrence of these hereditary diseases. So on the basis of the condition, healthy, sick, or in inevitable circumstance, we need to see and we need to advise the particular ahara. So again, before we go in detail regarding the which kind of ahara we need to consume, so first certain concepts are there which is totally not present in the mind of Ayurveda practitioners, and most of the time these are some of the hurdles or obstacles which are preventing the Ayurveda person to practice or to prescribe the ahara in day-to-day practice. So what are the major obstacles? One is that understanding or concepts which are explained in the Ayurveda, because Ayurveda explains about Hitara, Ahitara, Patya, Apatya, Satmya, Asatmya, Ashtahara, Vidhi Visheshayatana, Dwadasha, Ashana Pravicharana, Viruddhahara, Satmyahara. Many concepts are there. Even after having such a huge concept, but we want many Ayurveda peoples, they don't prescribe food in the their prescriptions. Why? Because there is a lots of knowledge which is limited. So what exactly knowledge limited? What I want to say is that, see here, there are lots of references. For example, when we say that what we call in Rajasthan, there is a food item. I think if you visited Rajasthan, you might be heard about the food called as dal bati. So I hope you might be knowing this one. So dal bati, most of the time when we say about dal bati, is there any reference of dal bati in Ayurveda? So most of the time people will say there won't be any reference of dal bati in Ayurveda. No, it is there. It is there in the Lagutrayas. So exactly what I want to say is that, so we focus on only one Samhitas. South Indians, because I am a South Indian, when I was in Karnataka, even our teachers used to promote us to read much about the Ashtanga Hridaya and Ashtanga Sangraha. There was no any scope for the reading of Charaka or Shushruta. But when I came here in North India, people promoted me to read much about the Charaka because Charaka explains everything. So because of this single-mindedness, we are losing lots of concepts which are explained in other samhitas. So what exactly I want to say is that you need to open your mind for every samhitas. Even you should read each and every samhitas, Brutraya, Lagutraya. Even you should refer the Nigantus, because in Nigantus there are lots of food preparations which are very much resemblance with the day-to-day food preparations. So most of the time we will end up saying that so this reference is not available in the Ayurveda.
थोड़ी सी धनिया लो, पकड़ो नींबू 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 ये लो धनिया लो, ये 5 प्याला हो गया मेरा पकड़ ये दो लीटर माजा पिएगी खिला दे हाँ 3 लीटर का बड़ा है 5 किलो का दी है देना 5 किलो का है बोले जल्दी जा बोले जल्दी जा यार बोले जल्दी जा यार जल्दी रही लिट्टी दे दो दिया मेरे को हरी मिर्च ना इलायची अबे तो बोले इलायची इलायची हाँ मिर्ची मिर्ची बोल रहा है ठीक है जा ले मिर्ची मिर्ची को आधा तो ले गोलकी भी लेगा तू गोलकी कहाँ गया ये कौन सा है गोलकी है कि लंबी है रे गोलकी गोलकी नहीं है खत्म हो गया ले गोलकी खत्म हो गया नहीं और बोल हाँ ये कहाँ है गोलकी नहीं है गोलकी नहीं है रे छोरा गोलकी नहीं है खत्म हो गया ये एक इलायची है लौंग है लौंग लौंग दे दो एक अरे वाले बीच वाला वाला ले लो ना 15 रोटी दे जल्दी ला 15 रोटी और बोल 25 आप 35 रोटी ये ले 20 रुपये हो जाए बाकी चीनी कितना ले लेगा 5 का 10 का चीनी बहन जो कहाँ गया ढाबा कहाँ ढाबा कहाँ ढाबा निकालने वाला बहन जो मेरा माथा पगला गया ढाबा ले हाथे से निकाल दे ले 10 का चीनी ला 20 रुपये जल्दी ला